Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Light League, folks. I mean, that was a banger if I've ever seen one, Kendo, between VBU Neon and Capedogs Unleashed. Capedogs Unleashed able to take that game, but man, was it hard.
It was very difficult, and credit to them. They were able to stick with it the entire time, and when we all counted them out, they kept on pushing, and the Kale comes in strong at the tail end. I saw that Series for Y said that is their last game of this split. So what a send off. I do stand corrected, however. There was what I actually was referring to more than anything else was coming from behind in the CS against what was a very good effort by Altazi. Getting beat, gapped extremely badly early on, and then that's just the power of Kale. Coming back 300 plus CS. Wow.
And VBU Neon, I mean, they're banning out the Wukong as the only ban, the only scars from that last
trauma ban.
game, only trauma ban coming through. But they're going to pick another very strong early game champion, that Ashe, with such great wave control, really good pressure if she's able to land that iced volley to get that slow onto whatever ADC Capedog decides to go for. And they're going for probably the best pick to go up against it, the Severe, going to get picked up early on. I mean, we've seen what Yodalicious can do, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to bring to the table now with a different type of marksman.
Yeah, I am very interested because Severe, with the poke, with the extra Q range, should be able to outpoke the Ashe in the bot lane. I like it as a counter pick, and you throw in a Lulu, this is going to get very interesting. That is going to be one fast Severe.
Oh, yeah. And one big Severe as well if they decide to go for the wild growth onto that. However, the response, a Seraphine support would probably be a great pick because that Encore is going to be able to land on potentially multiple members, and they could really have a good wombo combo here. And they're going to pair it with the Echo as well. Remember how oppressive Chitin was in game one.
Yes, it was extremely oppressive, and thus far, this is looking like a very interesting draft. We do have the Seraphine for VBU Neon, as well as the Echo, as you mentioned. And Chitin, again, was extremely difficult to deal with on the Echo. I get the feeling we're going to have a repeat of that. Capedog's going to come in with the Jarvan. I actually like this pick into the Echo just because you have a lot of physical damage coming in. You have the ability to really zone out some of these attacks that the Echo will bring on. And yes, while Echo can get away if ult is up, it's the fact that you're able to take the Echo out of things and zone off, trap individuals in that. It's going to be good. It's going to be very good.
Good for sure. I'm very excited to see what this Echo is going to bring to the table. Meanwhile, for Capedogs Unleashed, they do ban Altazi's Tahm Kench. Not going to have that available in the top lane this game for VBU Neon. It does mean, however, that there are a couple of options potentially open on the table for the top lane. You do have the Malphite still ready to go if you want to decide to go for it. But we'll see whether or not we do get to see that one out of Altazi. Lissandra, another respect ban coming out from VBU Neon.
Yeah, it is another, as you said, the Lissandra going to be an interesting ban. The Tahm Kench, that doesn't surprise me at all. Bench the Kench after the performance you saw in the early game, and mercy. It was very, very dynamic, the difference. We do have the TF coming in. Darth Kylo Ryan, very familiar with TF. I noticed in their gameplays, but Darth Kylo Ryan, someone who plays a lot of different mid laners, a lot of AP mid laners more than anything else.
Yeah, oh, definitely. The only thing that concerns me about that last game, and maybe kind of the sus about that VBU Neon ban, was the Lissandra. I mean, yes, he did have some decent roots. Yes, he did go invulnerable a couple of times, but the Lissandra did not perform well. That was not a good game for Darth Kylo Ryan. He was at like 1-10 or something like that.
Yeah, 111-17. So a lot of assists, but very rarely able to complete the engaged himself.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Capedogs Unleashed, they're going to be able to get whatever top lane they want as their
Ooh.
counter pick, though we'll see what they decide to play up against the Urgot here. A little bit more of a bruiser champion paired with the Braum, and it's going to be Aurelia as the hover. Is it
Oh, that
Aurelia
could be
as the
interesting.
pick? Is it the Aurelia as the pick? We got 3 seconds left, and it is the
Yes.
Aurelia for Capedogs Unleashed.
This is going to be a very interesting comp on the sides of Capedogs Unleashed. I'm not sure I necessarily like it because you don't have a hard tank by any stretch of the imagination. That being said, with the enchantments from Lulu, anyone could potentially be that hard tank. Jarvan's already quite the bruiser and can be in that role with help from the Lulu, so I can see it. The Aurelia also would be very difficult to deal with the help of the Lulu. The Severe always going to be very dangerous. I like the pickup of the Braum on the side for VBU Neon, and I have no doubt after seeing Para 04 in game number 1 and their work on their work on, oh my, I
The
lost it for a
Galio.
second. The Galio. My goodness, I even write it down there, and I still forget the character name there for a second. But the work on the Galio was exemplary. So now we're still continuing to see the melee champion. So you still see that top lane influence, gonna want to be up in your face, gonna want to make sure that you're managing your wave and trying to dip and dive in order to get advantageous trades. It was very well done by Para in game number 1. You throw up the shield, that Severe and the Lulu are going to have a tough time getting through that shield for a period of time. It's going to really allow Forgotten Turtle on the Ashe to bear a little bit of fruit and bring it forth the counterattack potentially, or the disengage, whichever one they prefer.
What is concerning about this play, what is concerning about potentially for VBU Neon in composition wise is I'm trying to figure out like what's the play here for VBU. Is it, keep the Urgot in the side lane and then maybe, have the 4 members of VBU Neon all together in the mid once the Echo gets out of the jungle? I don't know how it's going to play out because, you get the Braum into the Glacial Fissure to try to knock out multiple members. You've got so much movement speed ready to go for Capedogs Unleashed on the hunt. With that extra little bit of movement speed, going to be able to get anyone in pursuit, going to be able to reposition when need be, and they're going to be able to dodge away potentially from that Encore, potentially dodge away from the Glacial Fissure. And on top of that, Urgot's going to have to land his ultimate, that Fear Beyond Death.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a projectile, and so he's got to be able to land it to be able to actually be able to get the kill and potentially get those fears. I'm just a little concerned as to how this is going to play out. You've got the initiation potentially from the Ashe. You've got, initiation and maybe follow-up coming in from the Seraphine. But, I mean, I'm just, concerned. I'm a little traumatized again from last game, Kendo. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to just be based off of VBU Neon's performances in that last game. I mean, Echo, Chitin played exceptionally well. Everyone played well up until the point to finish the job. So their early game is sound, but can they finish the job and win out the game like they needed to in game 1?
That will be the question, and my question lies in how much of a turnaround can Darth Kylo Ryan have on the Twisted Fate, because the Twisted Fate ult may be the win condition here. How good can they get those impromptu ganks at the last second? How can they utilize the vision that comes as well from said ultimate? So they're going to have to be on their game the entire time, because one mistake could lead to them losing a team fight.
Yeah, exactly. One mistake could lead to both these teams losing a team fight. Katakira on that Jarvan 4 is gonna, Jarvan the 4th, J4, whatever you want to call him. He's the 4th Jarvan. He's going to be looking to be able to get those Cataclysms in, potentially on Forgotten Turtles, on a Merciful Crow. You were saying, Kaiden can potentially get out of it if
Yeah.
need be. So maybe not going to be the most effective if he does decide to use it on him. It's going to be up to, then on top of that, the Aurelia as well. Vanguard's Edge could potentially corner everyone into that. Cataclysm is going to be able to land onto multiple players, and then at that point you just get a big boomerang from Yodalicious on that Severe. You get the extra health from the knockup from onto Katakura from the Talon. I mean, and things just go from bad to worse for VBU Neon if they're able to get all clumped together.
Let's not forget about Dat Ash either, because there is a lot of speed, as we mentioned on Capedogs Unleashed, but all it takes is one Ash volley to severely slow them down. So it's going to be of the utmost interest for both of these teams to keep that in mind. Speed versus the Wombo combo. Who will win? We will find out when game 2 takes place here just after the other side of a short break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Light League, folks. We have got game number 2 action coming in between the Capedogs Unleashed and VBU Neon. First game, Kendo, was a banger, and I am expecting the same out of game number 2.
Banger would be an understatement, especially when you consider how it ended, because it was exemplary. You could not ask for a better game as we are getting into this one. VBU Neon. It's hard to come back mentally from what just happened to them.
You know, it's a little tough. I agree. And that's, rough to come back or to come back into game number 2 after that type of loss. But at the end of the day, that game is in the past. You've gotten past it now. Now it's time for you to redeem yourselves and get yourself a win in game number 2. Get us to a 1-1 set and give us a very exciting game number 3 as we get to see whether or not Darth Kylo Ryan on that Twisted Fate is able to get some really good work in against Merciful Crow on that Seraphine. Will Forgotten Turtle and Para04 have a phenomenal early game against Talon and Yodalicious. These are big questions that are going to need to be answered very quickly here as we get ourselves ready to start the match.
Of course, both junglers starting bot lane, and I am going to be very interested here in about 2 minutes to see what happens when the Echo and the Jarvan clash over the Scuttle Crab. You may see a gank, you may see blood. I don't know for sure, but I get the feeling it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, and now we've got a little bit more of a volatile top lane as well. The Aurelia-Urgot matchup can potentially be very scary, so I do expect a lot more focus here in the top lane moving into this fight. Para04 and Turtle do get level 2 first here, but they don't go for any sort of engagement. There's no level 2 Leona ready to go, but still, being able to push that forward. A little bit of a faster clear, it looks like, or faster distance coming in from Akira, as we do get to see, or I'm sorry, not Akira, from Chitin on the Echo, because he did not take the Krugs. But still, both these players in the jungle, ready to go for that Scuttle Crab. And you were saying, Kendo, this is going to be a very important Scuttle Crab fight, potentially, to determine the early game. And it's the J4 that gets there first.
Yes, it is. And it's going to be of the utmost importance, I imagine, especially when you determine who's going to be the passive jungler, who's going to be the one reacting. And right now, J4 looking for the gank up in the top lane. Could potentially go in. Gonna have to land that flag. Potential! No! A flash coming in from... Really? Wow.
Yeah, gonna be able to get a little bit more damage onto Altazi as we do get to see a little bit more of the Echo coming through. Gonna be able to get the movement speed from his passage, be able to just get that little bit of poke. But again, Chitin trying to be able to use that Echo effectively. Gonna basically zone out Katakira on this J4 early on. So will be most likely that Scuttle Crab in the top lane going towards Chitin unless some heroics come in from Katakira. And he's going to be looking to go over to the area. He doesn't have Smite up, but neither does Chitin. And so now this is going to potentially be a very important play here. The Aurelia is on the way as well. Both mid laners are now coming through in this play. As we do get a stun over onto the Urgot. The Urgot does not have a way to get out of this one. He doesn't have a flash, but the stun's going to land over to Akira. And the flash is going to miss from the Jarvan. But first blood's going to go into Darth Kylo Ryan as he is able to secure that kill on to the Echo, who also misses his flash. It is a disaster for VBU Neon as Para04 comes up and goes down. CDU with 3 kills.
All the more reason to talk about Serious for Y in the top lane in game number 1, because Dase is here and it was the catalyst of this first fight here in the top lane, sticking with the gank coming in from Akira, and they just ended up outlasting. We're going to see this here in the replay. The initial push did get the flash, and that comes all the more in handy here as Altazi does not have anything to get away. The first blood sharing the love here with Darth Kylo Ryan. The fact that you had the steadfast presence, and I'm not trying to make a pun about poppies by any stretch, out of Daze early on was brilliant, and they win that team fight pure.
Yeah, it was a very early team fight. Para04 going completely from the bottom lane up to the top lane to try to participate in that fight goes down. We are going to see Para and Kaiden be able to potentially get some damage onto Talon. He does have the shield to be able to get out of that one potentially. We do get teleports coming in from Ryan and from the Aurelia as they do potentially try to be able to get this kill onto Para04. A nice stun, going to be able to deny that though. So 2 teleports used, but nothing secured from it, Kendo.
Yeah, and that's a really good job, really good wherewithal from the VBU bot lane to make sure that they were able to push, but they did not overcommit. And now there is going to be a battle potentially for this first Drake, but with the pull right there, I highly doubt you're going to see Chitin going for this.
Could still go in for the dash potentially. Nope, not going to be getting that first Drake. Will be an Ocean Drake going in for CDU, and on top of that, a Mountain Drake here in the second one. So either a very powerful Infernal Soul or not quite as powerful, but still, power in the Cloud Soul coming in, Kendo. My prediction in this one, I think we're going to get an Infernal Soul here in game 2.
Oh, there are times where I have learned not to disagree with you, but we're going to go. We're going to go with it. We are going to go against the grain. Moose, you're wrong!
What? No way.
There is no fires on the rift today, baby, because the Infernal Soul will not see itself through.
Okay. We'll see, though. Ryan gonna get poked out a little bit by Merciful Crow. Gonna be able to use the root there to be able to get Ryan a couple hundred health down. But so far, I mean, other than that last play coming in that really terrorized VBU, it is going to be a fairly tame game. No other deaths, just the one objective coming in for CDU in that Ocean Drake because of those teleports. But because of that, we do get to see a little bit of the CS advantage going to get built up, or I guess the lack of CS advantage now for the Aurelia in the top lane.
Yeah, and thinking about what this game means for both of these teams at this point in time, Capedogs are 9-7. This is a chance to go in, and kinda Kira's gonna get the kill on the Echo. My goodness, you cannot put yourself into that sort of a position.
Not when you're not level 6. The Echo with no chrono break goes down. That flash was burned in that last play just a couple of minutes ago. And yes, Merciful Crow does land the Encore onto both of them, but he has no mana. She has no mana to be able to follow that up and potentially get that double kill. And at this point in the game, not really dealing a lot of damage with her cords. So that's going to be a tough loss there for VBU yet again. That jungler will go down. It is now a 3-0-1 J4 at the 8.5-minute mark. And that is a scary spot to be in if you're VBU.
Yeah, it's extremely scary. And I'm not sure what the J4 stats necessarily are currently for plays, but I do know there is one J4 that we both know very well in KGB, who is extremely efficient. I get the feeling the win rate is actually pretty high when people do lock in the J4. Here is, that's a little too far. The J4 does come in, popping the ult. We do see, however, the Fury of Death coming down, and Altazi's gonna get the kill, may get to escape.
A lot of damage onto both Atazi and Kaiten, but no one else will die. That's a nice little sneaky play coming in from Kaiten on the Echo. And we end up getting even more potentially as the crystallized Frost Arrow comes through. Ryan's gonna go golden. He's gonna try to flash away, but now it's Altazi trying to be able to secure the kill.
What?
A lot of damage as Ryan barely able to escape that one.
I'm in shock because Darth Kylo Ryan almost pulled off with the right card. That would have been a burnout on the Urgot under the tower after what was a brilliant Ash Arrow coming from the Nexus. Wow, what a team fight there. And let's give credit where credit due is. Not to forget Turtle. That was beautiful stuff to defend what was a tower that could have gone down a plate or two.
Yeah, great use of the Frost Arrow to be able to get that stun, and on top of that, secures that kill. That is a shutdown onto Katakira, who ends up going for the Mercury Treads before finishing off that Gore Drinker. So it's going to be a little bit slower on that mythic item, but we'll have that extra movement speed and the resistances to back that up, with Dragon spawning in about 30 seconds. You know, we're about to find out whether or not I'm correct or not. I'm feeling pretty confident that it's going to be an Infernal Soul here.
You know, I feel pretty confident for you as well, because I don't think you've been wrong once in the time that we have casted together. So I'm willing to be your antagonist here, fully knowing well that I am a Yuumi in the top lane going against you.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see when the dragon comes through. But now it is going to end up being potentially the kill onto the Urgot. He has no flash to be able to get out of that one. And trying to be able to get the kill onto Katakira. The Fear Beyond Death does not land. Akira will barely survive. Merciful Crow does have teleport to potentially go in to defend that tower. But with Katakira being able to get the Rift Herald and now into this first tower of the game, VBU Neon will be able to secure themselves the dragon. And am I correct? No, I'm wrong, Kendo. It is a Cloud Soul. There it was, the commentator's curse going against me.
I cannot believe it. I'd like to thank the Academy, Excellency, admins. I'd like to thank Vixus as well. Vixus, I know you're out there. Homie, this one's for you.
Ooh, actually, that's going to be 2 headbutts coming in from a CDU. Shelly going to get a lot of value in that first play. Not only does they get the first tower of the game, but then it's also going to be a lot of headbutt damage onto that tier 2 tower in the top lane as well. That is going to be a really good play of that one, all because of that one kill onto the Urgot. And so now, what will CDU be able to do with this advantage? The gold lead is there. It is about a 2,000 gold lead at the 12-minute mark. You've already got Blade of the Ruined King on your Aurelia, and that is a really great spot to be in.
Yeah, it's a really great spot to be in, but it is going to be a tough uphill battle for this VBU Neon squad. Forgotten Turtle sticking in it against Yodelicious. I don't like the attempt, however, especially with Machine Gun Lulu bringing out the Uzi.
You know, gotta do what you gotta do when you're living in a Yodel world. So you gotta bring it out every now and again, Kendo. So I respect it coming in from Talon. But still, it is going to be a little bit of a trade. Para 04 does come through as well, so it is back to a 2v2. Yodelicious down to about 400 HP, and on top of that, you've also got Chitin in the area looking to be able to potentially secure himself this kill here. We'll see whether or not they are able to get the dive. Nice use of On the Hunt from Yodelicious. I was talking about it in the early game and in the draft, that movement speed to be able to get away from those big projectile engage tools.
Yes, and that was a brilliant use of it there. This time is an escape tool. This is going to be a rough spot for Merciful Crow. Good flash. Will get around it, but not going to get away. Does, however, require a grave investment. Speaking of grave, that's a kill from beyond the grave.
There it is. Para 04 and Chitin trying to be able to do what they can to be able to get more damage onto it, but Akira will flash away from the Chrono Break damage. We've got Talon now in the area, and they're going to follow up again. Cataclysm is still ready for Akira. Does he go in for it? No, he dies immediately. He doesn't even get to activate Gore Drinker. With no mana on Kylo Ryan, CDU puts VBU back to within 3K.
And we are beyond. Oh, yet another wonderful play here. Does the extra. No, it's so close. Forgotten Turtle will still be able to finish off. The flash is taken as well. Can Talon get there in time? Yes. Wow, these Ash ults have been something.
Man, that is some great precision coming in from Forgotten Turtle on the Ash. But speaking of precision, Altazi on the Urgot, I mean, that was like American Sniper level execution coming in from the Urgot onto the Aurelia. Nothing that she could do, nowhere to go, ends up going down. But now, I mean, This game is back to wide open. VBU Neon, actually, pardon me, they're in the lead by about, what, 700 gold?
Yeah, and this is going to be very interesting. You may see a commit here by Kytan. It might be ill-advised. Kaitakira going to go in, but Kytan does have the ability to get away. VBU Neon, they do find themselves in a temporal advantage. Now back down, but they have drawn themselves in even in interest with the Capedogs. 45 seconds, however, to go on this Drake, and we got Talon looking to acquire some vision.
Yeah, I mean, this dragon is going to be fairly important potentially for these players. Whoever gets this one will have advantage to be able to get 2 soul points. And looking to see whether or not the Aurelia and the TF could potentially get the kill onto the Seraphine. Not going to be able to make that happen this time. We are going to end up seeing, you know, some good vision coming in from CDU here. However, in the top lane, we've got Altazi all alone, going to be able to get a lot of damage using the Pew Pew gun to secure almost the entirety of that damage onto that tower. And now we're going to get Darth Kylo Ren going to come in with the Destiny. Will they be able to secure the kill onto the Urgot? The answer is yes. But now looking at the bottom lane, we do get a lot of damage onto Turtle, but Turtle will not be able to get out of that one thanks to the Cataclysm coming in from J4, and now the teleport coming in from Kylo Ryan, bringing in the red card, and the slow onto Versatile Crow. It's a killing spree for the TF.
Indeed, and it's gonna be a Drake for the Capedogs Unleashed. They will look to keep this momentum going. And they are going to 100% secure that. Aurelia also in the top lane, deeply pushing. We may see Braum and the Echo rotating over here, but it might be too little too late, as that is not the best angle of pursuit. And here comes the counter gank. Here comes the squad goals. They are going to be looking to take the Rift Herald as well. And with vision, VBU make the wise decision to just give it away.
Yep, and on top of that, at the other end of the rift, the bottom tier 1 tower is going to go down. So that is the 3rd structure of the game to die. Remember, Shelly was able to get a lot of damage onto that tier 2 tower in the top lane in that last Rift Herald play, which meant that we just had to get a little bit of damage coming in from the Aurelia to be able to secure the kill onto that tower. And not only that, like, this is going to put the Aurelia way the advantage in terms of gold. Turtle now caught out of position. Katakira does not have Cataclysm up just yet. Actually might have it barely activated. Nope, not quite available. Does not use it. Turtle is still going to be able to survive, but it is going to be back into a lead for CDU.
Yeah, and they are going to look to try to keep this there. They have a little bit of momentum. They have quite a bit of pressure across the rift due to the turrets. Now can they start continuing their wise decisions here, forcing VBU to give away crucial elements of the rift as they are being pushed throughout it. And right now, it just seems like VBU are reacting to everything just a couple seconds too late.
That extra little bit of momentum, that extra little bit of momentum that CDU is able to create off of those plays in the top lane, off of those plays in the bottom lane, are going to be enough for them to be able to, you know, really stabilize themselves moving into the 20-minute mark. You've got Yodalicious. Lethal Tempo does have the Kraken Slayer ready to go. Unhinged Spellbook going to be ready for Darth Kylo Ryan. Going to be able to use that to get some extra summoner spells when need be. 3, 0, and 3. Second item is activated as well. That is a massive power spike for him. Everfrost and the Rapid Fire Cannon going to be available. And on top of that, he already has the Broken Stopwatch, so going to be close to getting that Zoni's Hourglass.
Yep, and they continue to work their advantage, taking what they can to this Capedog squad. They go where they please. They are going to have that Mundo mindset, and stonks are up, at least for the moment. My problem is, what is the game plan post 20? Because yes, you do have a lot of pressure. Yes, you do have Darth Kylo Ryan able to find themselves into just about any fight. But as the damage slowly but surely falls off for this team, I like VBU more and more the higher we see that clock.
But right now, I mean, CDU is continuing to push the advantage. The stun is going to land onto the Lulu.
My goodness.
Allen could potentially be collapsed upon, but Katakira is there with the extra little bit of movement speed that he has. On the hunt is also ready to go potentially, but Yodalicious not having to use that one despite the teleport coming in from Altazi and the Urgot. Kylo Ryan in the bottom lane going to be facing off against Merciful Crow in that 1v1 matchup. Remember, Kylo Ryan has Destiny, and on top of that, the Unhinged Spellbook as well could potentially use that to get teleport back when needed. And right now, I mean, it is a Mundo mindset for CDU. They go where they please, and they have been able to really, you know, make VBU, like you said, react to these situations. Now potentially going a little bit too far forward. Going to be just fine, however, with those shieldings coming in from Talon.
I mean, you know, the full-on team fight comp for VBU seems to be just a little bit superior. So it's very wise of CDU to find themselves in different places, to spread out across the rift and force VBU into these interesting situations. Now, Baron is live. The next Drake is in 45 seconds. Taking a look at the vision between these two teams, it's not really anyone's major advantage. In fact, the river seems to be the playground for CDU. It's the Urgot working on going down right now and will not be able to get the Twisted Fate out off the rift. The Rift Herald will go down yet again. They do get the mid turret out of the investment, and now they're going to have priority with 10 seconds to go. Brilliant job of zoning out VBU.
And right now, CDU is going to be looking to be able to get their third Drake of the game. The Cloud Drake is ready to go. Does look like Daze is looking to be able to go back after pushing forward that top lane. Teleport is ready if we get VBU decided to initiate on a fight. But without Tazi down for another couple of seconds and no teleport on the Urgot, there is no way that they're going to be able to deny that one. And there it is. Soul point at 22 minutes in the game for CDU.
My goodness. Once again, they're doing work. And are they actually going to go as a group and challenge for this Baron? That may be. We're seeing the pings coming through. That being said, VBU has a lot of vision there. There's a chance for some counterattacks if they do hard commit.
Looks like they are just looking to be able to get some damage. Yodalicious is going to get maybe a lot of damage onto her, but will not get stunned out by Para 04. Atazi is now in the area, and now it's going to be the cross arrow onto the Lulu. Talon goes down. Nothing to escape there. However, yes, they do get the support to go down, but what do they lose because of it? We get to see Daze back in the bottom lane, going to be able to get down that middle tier, or that bottom tier 2 tower. And on top of that, Yodalicious, on top of that, Kylo Ryan, and on top of that, Katakira are now in the area, potentially be able to go in for the countermeasures and potentially steal away the Baron. Do they be able to get that one? The Cataclysm's going to land on a 4, but not going to be able to land on that Vanguard's edge. It is going to be the Severe picking up one kill. The Aurelia will pick up another one onto the Brum. Ash going to be able to pick up the J4, but it's a double kill for the Severe. Yodalicious going to get a double kill. It's going to be a double kill for Daze, a triple kill for Daze, and disaster for VBU Neon. It's the ace for Capedogs Unleashed.
Right when you thought that there was going to be a given Baron and a push in the bot lane, here comes Daze to save the day for Capedogs, and they will take this Baron despite what was a 4v5 situation.
Man, I want to see that Cataclysm again from Kite Akira, and it looks like we are going to get that right now, Kendo, as we reset. Kendo, show us what we got here.
You had all 5 of them bunched together. The Cataclysm was perfect. Catches 3 out. Severe goes to work immediately after that. Daze coming in and doing the cleanup on top of everything else. It was a brilliant initiation, paid for by this J4. Jin's favorite Jarvan, I might add.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a great game so far for CDU. They've had a couple of hiccups here and there, but at the end of the day, now Baron is secured, and it's going to be secured, I believe, on 4 members here. Yeah, 4 members of the CDU squad. Para 04, no flat and no hope will go down. With the dragon spawning in 2 minutes, he will be back for that, but it also means that Vision is concerned, is taken by CDU.
And we will see the Urgot in the top lane looking to push this forward. That being said, Capedogs have themselves segmented extremely well, and they are going to continue to keep the pressure on. J4, Kaidakira looking for as much resources as possible to steal, and you're going to see the 5-2 turret advantage continue to be more and more drastic. The Cataclysm will manage to get Forgotten Turtle. That being said, in the top lane, it will be Kylo Ryan going down as well. So a 1-for-1 on the team fights, and this push in the top lane will look to be quelled. A chance for the counterattack coming through. Parad will go down. However, the cavalry has arrived. Talon just able to escape here as the chrono break will come in and they will disengage.
And meanwhile, all that time, Daze was able to get the tower in the bottom lane and a little bit of damage onto the inhibitor. And now they're looking to be able to finish the job. 48 seconds remaining on that Baron buff. The Vanguard is going to land on to Atazi, and there it is. The Urgot goes down yet again, and they're looking to be able to get even more. Kaidakira going to be tanking the turret hits for Daze, and this Aurelia with less than a minute remaining spawned until the dragon means that they should be able to push forward and get that dragon potentially here with 20 seconds left before Atazi comes back.
Yes, indeed. They will have a high priority. That being said, I think VBU understand the direness of these straits. They are looking to go in early and often, but they do not see the hiding in bush. Great phase by Forgotten Turtle to make sure that they know that that bush is covered. And they're going to look to push to try to get any sort of advantage. That being said, there's so much damage in the pit.
Kaidakira and Darth Kylo Ryan now there looking to be able to take down this Cloud Drake. Not the tankiest of Drakes here in the Rift, and they're going to push it out. Cataclysm is ready to go for Kaidakira if he does decide to go for it. Along with that, Daze is going to be able to potentially go for the stun. We got 4 members of VBU around the pit, but no one is able to get the dragon, and Daze is dominating as he takes the kill onto the Echo. The Frost Arrow is going to land onto Talon, going to get stunned yet again, but yet again, the movement speed is there. Yoda-Lish is going to be the cavalry for CDU as Daze goes godlike into the Vanguard's edge onto the Urgot. Kylo Ryan taking the kill onto Altarzi, and now Forgotten Turtle just saying sayonara as Daze goes legendary.
We may just see them end the game right here, which would be a very dynamic change from game number 1. They are going in on it. They have Merciful Crow. They will not be able to get Merciful Crow until now. The Lulu pulls off the ace. The game, the set is going to belong to the Capedogs. They are unleashed again here in game number 2.
I mean, this game was far better for Capedogs Unleashed. VBU Neon just never in a position that had control from the very first play, giving a kill over to Darth Kylo Ryan, giving 3 kills over to CDU immediately at the 4-minute mark, it felt like, is disastrous for VBU, and Daze coming in the top lane, playing the Aurelia exceptionally well. And on top of that, Yoda-Licious 4-0-10.
Yeah, and one of my biggest criticisms of Severe as a character is, yes, you are able to get so much poke damage, but it isn't usually until you get that 3rd, that 4th item that Severe becomes really, really dangerous in the lethality category. And this wasn't a lethality move. This was get as many down as possible and then allow Daze to clean up. The team comp came through here and Daze came to play. So brilliant stuff here from Capedogs, because VBU, we thought that they had the wombo combos. We never ended up seeing the full-on combos because they were spread too thin.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw it to be, I never really saw it going in for VBU Neon. Things just never worked out for them. I mean, despite whatever team composition you want to come through, like the fact of the matter is that that first fight just set the tone for the remainder of the match. I mean, Forgotten Turtle had some great frost arrows. Don't get me wrong, some really strong frost arrows
Yeah,
on that Ash.
to be
But
honest.
Talon had some great shielding on to Yodalicious to be able to keep him alive several times. Kaidakira on a killing spree pre 10 minutes into the game, having that quick gore drinker, and amazing use of that Cataclysm at the Baron Pit, grabbing 4 in that Cataclysm area. And despite the Vanguard's Edge missing, the Severe just gets so much value out of that boomerang, and the rest of CDU is just able to obliterate VBU in that play, in that team fight, and honestly, throughout the game.
Yeah. If Ash Arrows could win games, Forgotten Turtle would already have this VBU Neon squad 2-0 because, yeah, those Ash Arrows were wonderful. They were glorious. They were beautiful. And they came in, they gave VBU and Neon a chance a large majority of the time. Here's the problem. Ash's ultimate, yes, the cooldown's actually a lot lower, but the cooldown is not low enough that Forgotten Turtle was able to have a full influence on every single team fight all the way across the board. That being said, brilliant job by Forgotten Turtle. Did everything that they could. So there was solace. There was light at the end of the tunnel for VBU Neon. The issue is there wasn't enough of it. So good job, Capedogs. They took what was a very interesting comp up against them, the chance for the Wombo combos. They stretched it out by never really fighting in more than 3. Unless it was just a fleeting whisper or a gathering together at an opportune time. So the fact that they were able to, when they did finally assemble all together, work around the cooldowns of VBU Neon, there you go. This is brilliant. They won that 4v5, and that really was the turning point of the game.
It was. I mean, it was a really great performance again coming in from CDU. Game number 2 is in the books. They are now in the lead against VBU 2-0 at this point. But we are now ready to jump into game number 3 here, Kendo. Capedogs Unleashed looking to be able to get the sweep against VBU Neon. They need every single one of these wins to be able to get themselves potentially into these playoffs, as the playoff picture becomes a really major factor here in these games.
Yeah.
These massively important for both Capedogs and VBU to be able to get wins at this point. Capedogs is a couple of games behind right now some of their other opponents. VBU Neon is tied for 6th at the moment with Central Sentinels. At the end of today, those rankings are going to be very, very different. With Capedogs being able to secure 3 kills, they might even be able to tie with maybe not with Degenerates, because I think they do get the 3 wins here today. But they should be able to potentially, give Lotus Black maybe a run for their money and put them maybe into 4th.
Yeah, Capedogs are showing us that this is a real team that can threaten the top level teams. And they do it with consistency. They do it with a consistent all around game plan. VBU Neon, we were starting to think that maybe things were looking up after the 2-1 victory against Lotus Black. Capedogs have found a way to stop them out twice now, despite the fact that it looked like a very strong potential showing from VBU. The second one, by no means snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, but that game 1 still will go down in history as probably one of the most interesting ones I've ever had the opportunity to watch.
Oh, it was great. I am still recovering from that play for sure. But as we get ourselves ready to jump into the next draft, should be starting here momentarily. It does look like VBU is ready. Capedogs just needed to be able to confirm. We do have a couple of not announcements, but rather a couple of plays coming through from across the split. Looks like we are getting Grin Reapers taking the first game victory against Divine Ascension Obsidian. Meanwhile, CBS Stonk Squad taking a win off of Lotus Black. Crisp 10, I believe is confirming to us in chat that it is a 2-1 victory for Lotus Black there, but CBS does at least take a win off of them, which does mean, Kendo, it means if Capedogs Unleashed is able to get the sweep against VBU Neon, they're tied with Lotus Black.
Wow. That could be a very interesting development, folks. Wow. Are we sure about that, math-wise?
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it would be okay, yeah, but potentially. It looks like we are going